Hello, I'm Halar. Today I've brought a brand new video for you. Let's get started. In the world of motorcycles, there's some names that echo across generations. Names that carry passion, speed, and culture. And one of the most iconic among them is the Kawasaki Ninja 250. But before we dive into its history, let's take a moment to picture this machine. Imagine, the year is 1983. Japan is rising as a global power in motorcycle engineering. People are hungry for speed, style, and performance, but at the same time, they want something practical. Something affordable, something that brings the thrill of a superbike without the heavy price tag. And that's when Kawasaki introduces a small but fierce warrior, the Kawasaki GPZ 250R, better known as the Ninja 250. This motorcycle was not just a bike, it was a revolution. A 248cc parallel twin engine, liquid-cooled, delivering around 36 horsepower. It could hit speeds above 150 kilometers per hour, and yet it was reliable, fuel-efficient, and surprisingly beginner-friendly. For many young riders around the world, the Ninja 250 became their very first taste of sport bike adrenaline. Over the years, the Ninja 250 evolved. In 1988, Kawasaki released the EX250F, a new generation with updated design, better aerodynamics, and even more reliability. For nearly 2 decades, this version remained almost unchanged, just proving how perfect the formula was. In the early 2000s, something incredible happened. While in Japan and the United States, the Ninja 250 was seen as a starter bike. In many Asian markets, it became the ultimate dream machine. Riders loved its aggressive look, sharp handling, and the sound of that twin engine screaming at high RPMs. But then came the Chinese manufacturers. Companies like Lifan, Zongshen, Longshen, and Jialing saw the popularity of the Ninja 250. They saw how young people wanted the sport bike look, but couldn't always afford the original. And so, they began creating replicas. These Chinese versions looked almost identical to the Kawasaki Ninja. Fairings, headlamps, sporty graphics, everything was designed to trick the eye. But under the body, the engines were different. Instead of high-performance 250cc twin-cylinder engines, many of these Chinese bikes used simpler, cheaper, single-cylinder engines, often 150cc or 200cc. They had less power, less reliability, but they came with one big advantage. Low price. From around 2010 to 2016, these Chinese clone bikes flooded markets across Africa, South America, and even parts of Asia. For the first time, a young rider could buy a bike that looked like a Ninja, even if it didn't perform like one. Some of these companies, like Longchin, were among the first to release these replicas. They produced models styled after the Ninja 250, Ninja 300, and even Yamaha R-Series bikes. These bikes sold in huge numbers, especially in countries where Japanese imports were too expensive. Now, here's the interesting part. While purists laughed at these fake ninjas, for many riders, these bikes were their gateway into the motorcycle world. For a teenager in a small town, buying a Longchin or Lifan sport bike was a way of living the dream, of feeling like they owned a superbike, even if the performance wasn't the same. And even today, if you search through second-hand markets, you'll find these Chinese replicas sitting in garages, rusting under the sun, carrying the memory of a generation who once believed they were riding a ninja. But let's return to the original legend. In 2008, Kawasaki redesigned the Ninja 250 completely. The new Ninja 250R had a modern look, twin headlights, aggressive fairings, and upgraded performance. This model took the world by storm. Suddenly, the Ninja was not just a beginner's bike, it became a cultural icon. In the US, in Europe, and in Asia, the Ninja 250R was everywhere. And then, in 2013, Kawasaki went even further, releasing the Ninja 300, followed by newer versions like the Ninja 400. But even with all these updates, the Ninja 250 remained in the hearts of riders as the bike that started it all. So, what do we learn from this story? We see how a motorcycle created in Japan in the 1980s became a global phenomenon. We see how Chinese manufacturers tried to copy it, giving access to those who couldn't afford the real thing. And we see how the Ninja name lived on. Decade after decade, inspiring new riders and keeping the fire of passion alive. The Ninja 250 was never about being the fastest or the most powerful. It was about freedom, about giving young people a chance to experience speed, style, and independence. That is why, even today, when you hear the word ninja, you don't just think of a bike, you think of a legacy. So, next time you see a rusty old Chinese replica on the side of the road, or a shiny Kawasaki Ninja parked at a cafe, remember the history behind it. Remember that every motorcycle has a story. And this one, the story of the Ninja 250, is one of the greatest of them all. So, my dear viewers, if you enjoyed this journey into the history of the Ninja 250 and its Chinese clones, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more motorcycle stories and restorations. And here's something I want from you.
Tell me in the comments, which country are you watching this video from? I would love to know how far the story of the Ninja has traveled. Until next time, ride safe, stay passionate, and never forget the legacy of the Ninja. Stay tuned and watch the video till the end. Thank you.